Hey everybody, and welcome back to episode 8 of my Satisfactory playthrough here. I have completed. I'm finished. Yay! I know I mentioned it was going to be 6 or 8 sections. It actually ended up being 12. Yeah, why not? You notice that power's in on all corners. Now, what I have to do is put power into the ceilings, and then I still have to get the lights, because yes, there's going to be lights down here. Otherwise, by the time you put walls on the outside, yeah, you can't see nothing, so there needs to be lights. But in order to get to here, I now need, if I'm going to put lights up, I now need to get power. I now need to get coal power. Now, on the last one, I did get it, but in order for me to do coal power, I now need to do my evener system. And to do that, I need to show it to you. So I've set something up over here. Now, back in the day, I was playing Factorio. And I remember I was out in the oil field, and then this game Satisfactory came out. And I'm like, oh, I got to have it. And so I got it. I immediately looked at it, and, well, we all used to use an evener system, 4 belts into 4 belts. This is that evener system. Now, I could have scrunched it up some more. Okay, I could have cut it off here and, you know, wherever it was going to go. And this commonly went along with a bus system. And this worked. Okay. It now has some bottlenecks in it that weren't there in Factorio. You'll notice in the Factorio picture, I've left it up in the upper left-hand corner here. You'll notice that this equates to the first splitter, and that equates to the first splitter. And then it goes to the center and it splits it again. Then it goes underground and it comes up. Okay. So this system works, by the way. Okay. If I'll take a little damage, but if I picked any one of the 4, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, let's choose one of the center ones. Okay. And we take 40. Let's take 40 just for nice, easy math here. And we'll put 40 in this one. Run. Quick. Go. Quick. Come on, go, 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 go. Now, I got MK2 belts, but it wouldn't really matter which belt system you use on this. Okay. Here comes okay, all into the first. The first splits into the second. Second one splits it up. Okay, I hope if you haven't played Factorio, I hope you're getting this. These go just underneath. It's just a simpler way of getting around this. And in Factorio, you'll notice there's what we used to call undergrounds. Okay, and that's what replaced these, these are, let's just say they're undergrounds for now. Okay, so by the time it gets through this system, it gets to the far end, and there will be 10 in each. Why do I know this? Years and years and years of Factorio. Plain and simple. And also doing... When this first came out in 19, I did a lot of figuring this out. Now, I was not a YouTuber back then. You can tell when I created this channel, it was May of this year, February of this year, sorry. And yeah, I don't know. I just played before. But me being the player that I am, I always have to figure this stuff out. Okay, so I needed to know that when I had stuff coming in, you'll notice it's 10 per. Okay, plain and simple, it's 10 per. So that is a balancer. Okay, and we used belt balancers all the time in Factorio. But you see the size of this thing? Now, yeah, I could have scrunched it up, yeah. But you see the size, basically the sheer real estate that this thing takes over. Okay, well, I don't remember, exactly what I had in my evener set or my belt balancer book. But I remember I had a lot. 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 4 to 2, 4 to 4, 5 to 4, 6 to 4, 7 to 4, 8 to 8, 8 to 6, 6 to 8. So you're getting the point, right? Okay, so although this works, and I could have scrunched that up, and I could have maybe tightened that up a bit, but here's my issue. Here was my problem. You see where I'm pointed? This is a bottleneck. Maybe not now. But this is a bottleneck. That means that one belt, let's say I get up to MK3, that one belt will hold 270. But I got 4 belts coming in that can hold 270. That means that it's going to... Right. I hope you're getting what I'm laying down here. That means that these two are going to be a bottleneck. That's a bottleneck. They go underneath. This is a bottleneck. So once you start to realize that this system can really only handle how many? How many? Yeah, 540. That's it. 270 and 270, everybody. That's it. Because you'll never get anything past these two, and you'll never get any more past those two. I'm going with MK3s here, okay? But I don't know about you, but for most of the game, we're stuck on MK3s, okay? This goes all the way out to some coal, and I'm going to be bringing it in the bottom, and I'm going to be making some metal right or some steel right away. And once I get into steel, I get into MK3s, okay? And then that's how I build the factory, is with MK3s, okay? Now, could I have built this in MK1s and started this whole thing? Yeah, absolutely. But I figured, because I'm making this for YouTube, that I'm going to do this differently, which is why I did it the way I did it. Now, I have this whole place, 4 stories of all of this. I got a road that goes all the way down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, everything's all set. Everything's all ready to go. So my concept was, if you are going to go rent a commercial space, you get them to build the warehouse first, right? The factory. You get the walls up, the power's in, you know what I mean? The utilities are in, the bathrooms are in, da-da-da. You're ready to rock and roll. Your company moves in. You bring all your machinery and equipment with you. You populate the factory. Okay, so that's what I did. Did it take me a little bit of time? Yes, it did. But I did it this way so that you guys will never have to watch me build the skeleton of this building, ever. On the outside, yes, it's going to eventually have a skin. It's eventually going to have walls. It's eventually going to look really cool. Okay, but I had to show you this. My reason being is this is not what I use. But you understand the concept of this is how it works, right? Like this is the reason behind it is in Factorio, okay? You could never guarantee that your belts were always going to be full. Now, we did work it that way, but that was after belt balancers. I don't know about you, but I always put, a big, huge area of, and maybe I'll have some pictures and whatnot, big, huge area of, I don't know how many pictures I got of Factorio, so I don't know what I'm going to be able to put on the screen. Big, huge area of miners. All those miners, if all 9 spaces of those miners, well, it wouldn't be that many, but basically all 9 spaces of those miners had commodities underneath them, whether it be iron or copper or whatever, okay. You would be basically trying to fill a full belt. Your miner would be full. You could put, let's not get into it. It's a totally different game. But I hope if you've played Factory, you get my point. But you could never guarantee that those belts were going to be fully balanced. Okay, in this game, that may or may not be one of 3 levels of mines, meaning it's an impure, it's a normal, or it's a pure. Now, in those, you're looking at, depending upon the miner you put on it and depending upon whether you overclock it, there are numbers in between, 30 on a low, all the way up to 1,200? It's been a while. 1,200 per minute. Ah, I was correct. Okay, my memory's working. Okay, I'm sorry. So, as you can tell, being that you can have numbers anywhere between 30 resources per minute and 1,200 resources per minute, okay, it's a big deal, isn't it? Okay, and right now we only have MK5s, and MK5s don't even transport 1,200 per round or 1,200 per minute. So, when it came down to this game, in my mind, the way I think, my belts had to be balanced. Okay, but this doesn't work for me. I could have put these above ground. Like I said, I could have shortened some of these up a little bit. I could have even configured this a little bit differently. Wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to happen for me. It just wasn't. So I came up with something else. Now, I have pictures from when I first started playing the game. It's not right when the game came out because, of course, I had to work with the game for a little bit, and I had to figure stuff out. Give me a sec. I'm going to get rid of all this. And I'm hoping I don't erase too much when I do it. You might notice that I still don't have my blueprint maker. That's coming. But for the moment, yes, everything in here was all built by hand. My reason for not using a blueprint maker for making this section, like the bones of the place, and you'll notice actually I've got a couple of holes. Plain and simple, they gave us Zoop, everybody. I mean, with Zoop, you don't need any. I mean, really. I can remember having to hand build floors and levels and such. You know what I mean? One by one by one, clicking the whole thing. So Zoop is an awesome function. Thank you very much, devs. So building this was no big deal, and I don't foresee being able to use blueprints anyways. The only portion that I could have used a blueprint on was the uprights, where I connect power. Right, you'll see the power cable that goes down, and then those power cables connect to each of the four corners. And then, yeah, I mean, I could have, but even then, I mean, it's not, yeah, don't see it. So, hence the reason I try to figure out what I want to build for a factory. I try to figure out the size first, and then I put the whole thing in first. Takes me a little extra time, yeah, but, I mean, really, when it comes right down to it on the grand scope of things, time is not really, how to put it? I mean, I care about time, right? But it's not really, I do and I don't care about time. I don't know. I'd rather put in the time to make the building first and then populate the building. Is that better? Does that make more sense? I hope. I hope it does. Otherwise, I'm not making any sense whatsoever, and you're going to flip off this and go to something else. Okay, anyways. The system I'm going to show you works right from day one. You can put it on your very first. All you need is belts. Okay, so whatever belts you got, MK1s, MK whatever. Okay, and the splitter and the merger. That's it. That's all it takes. Lifts. So, sorry. On my first page. Well, I can't even hit delete. Okay, so number 3 down below, hotbar. Number 3, number 5, number 6, number 7. That's all you need. That's it. You don't need to be able to go underground. You don't need nothing funky. There was a time where you needed the stackables, conveyor belts. There was a time, but they gave us lifts, so we don't need them anymore. Number 5, right? They gave us these, the lift. And once they gave us a lift, that alleviated, at least I'll probably have some pictures here back from. These are, if I'm correct, the one picture's from 2018, 2019. Woohoo, all done. Okay, so the pictures are, I want to say April or May. Of 2019. 2019, 05/12. So May 2015. 2019, sorry. Not bad. I believe it came out in March, and I had figured it out in about 2 months. So that's not too bad. Okay, so here's how this system works. Now I'm going to start way over here, and I'm going to give myself lots of room. If it's a simple system and it's 1, 2, or 3 belts in, it's very simple, 1, 2, or 3 belts out. Now, the in-between is where it gets interesting. So you have to start with a splitter. Basically, no matter what, you're going to have to split the incoming organization, storage. Okay, let's have 4 again. Where am I? Let's have 6. 2 and 6. Okay. So I'm hoping that's close enough. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I can use a lift if it's not. Ah, I can still get there. Okay, good. That's for later. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so 3 splitters. Now, I know they're clipping, but they're not clipping. They actually look stacked, right? I think they look pretty cool stacked. So, merger. So, of course, after you split it, you're going to have to merge it. Now, there was a time where you knew your spacing because it actually gave you an angled green bar. You see that green bar? The green bar is gone. The green bar is back. Okay. So I used to go 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This could be made in the blueprint maker. Now, my reason for going 7 was it made it very easy to get in between. Do I have enough of those? Yeah, I probably do. Yeah, let's make them all MK2. Okay, so here, MK2, number 3. Okay, so a splitter will split something 3 times, fairly equally, right? Okay, so if we do this, okay, that would mean anything coming in the bottom, say from this storage to here, will get split evenly each of the 3 ways. Okay? But, I mean, I got to be correct on that. I was going to put some inventories and show you how it's nice and evenly split. If you can't... Okay. Goes into the splitter. Gets split evenly between all 3 of these. Plain and simple, everybody. That's how it works. Okay. So, that's not really convenient, though, okay, to put those belts that way. So, in a nice even system, those would have to go, and to split the other things up, these would have to go the other way. Is this still making sense? Okay. So that would mean that somehow I have to get from here up to here. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate clipping. So, 1. Oops. 1. Get rid of this piece. Put a lift in. Go 1 above so you're not clipping. Same thing here. Get rid of the leg. Put your lift in. And there. Now, if I were to let's do that. Let's do that. Proof is in the pudding, is it not? Okay. So, if that means if I put 30 of my handy dandy okay, there we go. That should mean, right? Shouldn't it? Boop, 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 boop. Do, 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 do. So now, effectively, what I've done is I've done the same thing as I had before, except now, because of the math in this game, I have to go by 3s. Okay? For the first one. Don't worry, you'll be able to go 4. Not. Okay, there's 10. And are we done? There's 10. And there's 10. Oh, wait, okay. Give it time. Okay, so 10, 10, and 10. Okay? So this, effectively what I've done is I've made an evener system. Okay, meaning whatever I put in, it's going to take each one of these belts inbound, and it's going to split it evenly between that. But we don't work in 3s. I don't know about you, man, but I don't work in 3s. Not all the time. Shoot, I got 4 to 2. I got 3 to 1. I got all sorts of stuff. Okay. Coffee in a fix-it cup. So, what we need to do is we need to know, right, that we can have 1 belt come out of it. Meaning I'm doing a 3 to 1. Okay. So, let's connect that to there. Let's put... Now, here's the funny thing about this, setting up this system. Okay. Let's just pretend for a minute that these 3 belts are uneven. Okay, but they're going to fill these other belts up. So I can't just put 10 in. You know what I mean? 10 per belt. That's not going to work because a lot of them are going to get caught in this top one, in this bottom one, in the center one. Okay. I don't know about you, but I don't do 3 to 1 very often. But, I mean, it is possible, right? So on this little instance, I'm going to use 100. Okay. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about the numbers, but the theory here is that it's going to pull equally once it fills up. Okay, so you'll notice that the belts are all filling up. Okay, we still got a nice line going out. Yeah, okay, fine. But the belts are all filling up except for the 3. But you notice, okay, get backed up. Here's what I want you to notice equally. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You see it? Okay, I don't care about what's going out. What I mean is, do you notice how it's taking equally from each one of those 3 belts? Ta-da! To me, that's important. That math does actually get important in my thinking and the way I do a factory and whatnot. It's important to me that it pulls equally from each one of those 3 belts. What that tells me is that later on down the line, depending upon my math, my inbound math to my outbound math, meaning if I've got 300 per minute coming in, that means that I can pull 270 a MK3 belt out, and I will pull equally from each one of those 3. Then I also know that I can put another belt on this, and I can pull, what, 30 more? Yeah. Why? Because I've got 300 coming in. Now, they're not going to be equal because they fill up the belts a little differently. And, well, I mean, I did put this one in last. So it's fairly equal still once it fills up the whole system, right? Okay. So that was important to me. Okay, I mean, this is why I built this system, the reasons and the wherefores and all the rest of that fun stuff. Okay. Now, when you get into, and I'm going to pull all of this but the splitters and the joiners down, or the splitters and the mergers. There's a reason. Okay, I'm going to leave those up though. Okay. Let's pull you. This should empty everything. In other words, I got no cement left in there. We'll pull you, and we'll pull you, and we'll pull you. Okay. So, if we now have to go a larger system. Okay, let's go 4. Okay. So, math whizzes. And I was the head of the math club when I was in school. So, yeah, this isn't going to look right, is it? That no longer looks right to me because that'll go there. That one will go there. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I'm having a problem with this already. You know what I mean? If I set this up to here and that up to there and, well, wait a minute. Oh. Ha ha! I did have stuff left over. Okay. So, are we seeing the problem? Okay, well that would mean this one coming in the bottom, okay, let's just go with this one coming in the bottom, is going to make it to the second level, and the first one's the first level. Okay, but if I follow my pattern, yeah, we got an issue here, because that one goes to there, and that one goes to there, and that one, okay, alright, oops. I got more stuff stuck. Okay, and if I follow my pattern, well, we got a problem. Oh, come on. Let's push that right button. Come on. Must be a glitch. Okay, so if I follow my pattern, let's put that, let's go there. This no longer works. Who's been paying attention? There's a quiz at the end of this. I'm joking. Okay. That would mean one of these, because it's split 3 ways, it is not split 4. One of these is not going to get, if it's just coming in the bottom, right? One of these is not going to get it. So we have to expand on the system. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I use 4 for a reason, because, oops, haha, I didn't put it in the right spot. And I still got more cement. Cool. Getting all my cement back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, my reason for that is very simple, because if I need to split, okay, everyone knows blue is good, yellow is bad, yellow is clipping. Okay, so another blue one will fit in between there, and that's why I use 4 spaces. Okay, but we'll go 4. I still use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn it the right direction. Remember? 3, 4. Okay. Now, you have to follow the same pattern. Meaning, these hook up. Oh. These hook up to the center. Yeah, that works a little better. Okay. But that means this side has to... Do I still got a cement in there? Okay. This still has to follow the same pattern as this side. So that would mean that they have to go this way. Okay. And that means the riser still has to be on here. You can't change directions in the middle of this. That won't work. You have to maintain. If your risers, oops. Okay, so if these belts are going down, that means these belts have to go up. Follow the pattern of the first side. Okay, same thing. Got to put a riser in here. And oh, up we go. Same thing here. Red, 1 space, first blue space. Get rid of the leg. I found that it got in my way. Now maybe they fixed that since I last played. It is possible that the devs have fixed that clipping issue, but I was having problems with it not connecting properly when the leg was still there. That's my only issue. Maybe it hasn't, but I just got into such the old habit that I have always done it that way now. Oh, that one's not in line. I don't care. I'm not being all that particular. So, we got to do the same thing. I got to prove. Welcome to me. Sorry if I'm wasting your time. Oh, wow. Okay, good. Let's get those 2. Okay. So now, let's put, we got 4. We're 4 belts. We're supposedly going to be evening this out, right? So let's go in here. 80? Sure. That's a nice even number. Dum, 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 dum. Everything's connected, so I'm not going to be backed up anywhere. Well, actually, you know what? Let's move you. Come on, get up the tower. Go, go, go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now, they're not 100% even at the beginning, because you'll notice the top one's a bit slower and a bit the numbers don't work out exactly as things come through. Okay. You can tell, come on, there's 2 together here. There's 2 a little bit closer together there. So the... how it all works, but then again, I goofed up, everybody. Logistics, MK. I did not use MK2 lifters. That's why my numbers look bad. I should do this again. I should do it all over again. Okay. I hope you understood my mistake there. I used MK1 lifts. But here's the point. 17 there, 27, 18, and 18. Okay, and 1, 2, oh, let's get that green line. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always go 4 so that I can fit splitters in between. Now you could shorten up this part, the 7 spaces. You could shorten that up a bit. I don't mind it being that that far away, the 7 spaces. I don't mind it. It doesn't, you know, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be something that you would do in the blueprint maker. And once again, oops. Well, that's not the right one. That looks a little better. 1, 2. Now I always go even where the corner is clipping, right? And then 1 up. You notice that makes this space look really cool. If you're looking for that, I don't know. It's just something I noticed. It makes it look really good from a distance. About as good as you can get, anyways. So once again, come on. There we go. Alrighty, now. Where's my organization? Okay. I'm out. Oh, wow. Okay. Alrighty. Give me a sec. I've been letting the factory run forever, so I have lots of commodities. And I did a little bit of work, by the way, okay, meaning that I brought in, like I said, I got coal on the top 2 lines. Might as well show you this, just because we're here. When I bring commodities in, I bring a lot of commodities in, everybody. And I leave the one stairway. I know it clips, but the whole point is because now I can travel down my system. And you'll notice it goes forever down there, okay? So you can travel up and down this system. It'll hold 8 belts, but I've only got 7 going, okay? But you can put another belt down at the bottom here without any issue whatsoever on each side. So that's 7 high already, so that's 8. That's 16 belts coming in. Yeah. And then there's a wall, okay? So it just comes in through the wall, and the outside wall of the finished building will be here because, you know, that's where it is. And then I deal with it inside the factory underneath, and then I split it up down here, and it goes places and gets to where it needs to get to. Gets split, evened into its individual commodities, coal, iron, whatnot. And then from there, I split it off and go to the different sections. I've already got some power running the ceiling just on this one. That's where the lights go, so you can see what you're doing down here. Because otherwise, during the night, and even during the day, you can't see down there. It's... Oh, right. I forgot about these 2. Okay. All nice and cleaned up. Now, where was I? Okay. Now, in order to split... Now, I'm starting to take up more real estate, aren't I? Yeah, I know. But, here's the thing. When you, for nice and even 240. Let's go to, I don't know, second, third one? I did second one, so let's go third one. 240. Okay, there we go. Doo-doo-doo. Boom, boom, boom. This is not really 4. Now, you'll notice in the last one, I did get a little much into one of them. 10 extra. Now, I'm not absolutely sure whether that's because things were slow, because I wasn't using MK2 lifts. I'm not absolutely sure. But I wanted to do another section of 4 just to kind of show off. And you notice it almost fits within 2 foundations. One of these sets fits almost within 2 foundations. It's pretty much 3, almost 3 to get to the next one though. But that's because I leave space. You don't really need to leave that space, but if you ever want to cut into this, you're going to need that space. Okay, just plain and simple, you're going to need it. It's going to be something that you're going to want to have. So you'll notice that nothing touches the bottom, okay, or the top, meaning this one's coming from the bottom going up, so nothing's touching those. And oftentimes into the second one, depending upon which one you put them through on the first, you'll notice that nothing's even touching it here. But eventually, you start to get things coming up, all the different riser, the lifts and everything else, and then you get your evener. So, in order to, now it wasn't a bad split last time. Okay, it was 17, 27, 17, 17 with 80. Okay, meaning it should have been 20, 20, 20, 20, shouldn't it? Right? Yeah, okay. Should have been, but it didn't. Like I said, I don't know whether that was part of, and I don't think it was. I'll be honest. It just the lift was just going slow. But if the lift is backed up, and this one tells the splitter here, right, to send it a different direction. Well, if it sends it a different direction, then yeah. So this works better on a little fuller belts rather than what I'm trying to show you here. But I still wanted to show it to you this way. Okay, and I mean, I didn't know for sure whether that second one, when it was only 2 sections, okay, was going to come up 17, 27, 17, 17. I didn't know that. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know. I really thought it would come up equal, but it didn't. So, are we done? Yeah, we're pretty much done. So, 53, 62, 63, 62. So, a little short on the bottom one. I shoved it in the third one, was it not? Yeah, the third top, yeah. So, I shoved it in the third one. So, you'll notice before it was in the bottom, and the second one was at 27. Okay. So is it a perfect system? No. No, it's not. Nope. Never. And that's why I'm trying to show you. Never claimed it was. Okay, but here's what happens when you start to actually go further distances. Okay, meaning that if you're doing 3, okay, believe it or not, it works really well with 3. Okay, I showed you that. It works like perfectly with 3. 4, it gets a little goofed up, doesn't it? On one of them. You notice how the other ones were even. I am showing you this for a reason. I've watched this math. I did enough myself, right, in a playthrough where I made sure, because I wanted to know my math. I'm just that way. I want to know my math. I want to know what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to go a little extreme. I'm going to skip a bunch here. Okay, so eventually, I don't know about you, in we are on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's go 9. Now, I use 9 for a reason. Now, I don't do this for limestone. It's not needed. if you're doing 9 belts in of limestone, wow, you're doing quite the extreme concrete belt. I don't use 9 belts. I'd be lucky if I used 5 in most of my builds when it comes to concrete. But iron, I already showed you the math on just some simple stuff in the calculator, how it gets up into the tens of thousands of iron that's needed for a end production factory. And I mean, I personally like to I like to build right from the beginning. Okay. So when you're building your first set, and a set is splitters, mergers, that's one set. The connection to the next set is just that. It's just a connection to the next set. Okay. Past 3. For every 1 you go past 3, you need another set. So 9 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of these. A lot of work? Yep. Yep, you bet it is. Put that into the blueprint and get that blueprinted, and it's plunk, 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 connect, 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 connect. Alrighty. So this whole thing is buildable in the blueprints. I don't have them yet because I don't have steel. I just finished bringing coal in, and I just don't have steel production. Wish I did. I don't. That'll come, but I have to. I didn't want to go through my playthrough series and show you an evener and not show you this. Okay. This is if you build big. I built big, so this is what I needed. If you're going to build small, the stack of 3 will work just fine. Seriously. Stack of 4 will be a little off, yeah, but it doesn't use the footprint that I showed you the first one. Okay, the horizontal. Oh, coffee. Now, 2 of these does not take up the space that I showed you, the 4 to 4. Okay, now the 4 to 4 horizontal in the old fashion of Factorio does work perfectly, but it has bottlenecks. Okay, this one, even if you go just the 4 to 4, you might say, okay, well, this is a bottleneck here. Okay, well, 1 belt in, 1 belt to the next one. So how much of a bottleneck is it? Really, it's not. If you have an MK3 coming in, you're going to have an MK3 in the middle. You're not pumping any more through there than you're going to get through here. Okay, but in the 4 to 4 system, on the ground horizontal, old Factorio, okay, remember that it's 4 belts and eventually it has to go across 2. So that means 540 going into 270 doesn't work. So this system does. Now, is it a little bit off on that 4th? Yeah, a little bit. And it evens out a little bit more if you put another section on. Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is 9 tall. This is 7 sets of them. Okay. And I'm going to put in, I've put apart 1,800. Which one called? Actually, I didn't do it 18. I didn't do it completely even. And actually, you know what? I won't. You know what? You know what? You know what? I won't. Okay. So each one of these is getting a stack of 5. And then the middle one will get the extra. So stack of 5. Stack of 5. Stack of 5. And the 3. Okay. So now this will take a little bit to fill up. Okay. Because as you know, I mean, it's, 1 belt, 3 belts going in. Now, I split them up because you would, in theory, split them up. But you'll notice that 3rd belt's still not getting nothing on it yet. But yet, you'll notice that now the 3rd belt will. Okay, and then as it goes along and it crawls its merry way down to the end, in case you're wondering why I put all these observation towers all the way down here, this was why. This was the plan from the beginning. Now, I don't go any more than 9 high. Here's my reason why. Like I said, I base a lot of my factory off of MK3 belts. Okay, so MK3 belts will hold 270 resources. Okay, if you go 9 times 270, you're bringing 2,430 resources in. If you divide that once again by 30, now you need 81 smelters. See how that math works out? Okay, so 81 smelters All right. Nicely stack into stacks of 9. 9 stacks of 9. Okay, so if we now have 9 smelters chewing up 30 per times 30, what is that? Well, it's 270. 270 is the amount that an MK3 belt will hold. So as long as you're bringing in 2,500 on the far end on 9 belts, which isn't that hard to do, okay, 2,500 divided by 9, okay, is 277. So as long as you're bringing 270 per belt in, you will get a fairly decent amount going out the other end. Now, if you can bring in up one of the belts, say to an MK4, or later on you're at MK4s, or later on you're at MK5s, well, now you just have to bring in your 2,500 on the far end, and you're fine. Your belts will always be full. You'll have a 30 on there. You'll have an MK1. You'll have an MK2 miner. You might have, some impure, some pure. One belt will be running a little faster, a little thicker, a little heavier than the other one. But when it comes out the far end here, each one of the belts will be even. And I'm about to prove that in just a second here. Alrighty, last one. Down at the bottom. Okay, so what did we get? 237, 226, 204, 182, 229, 207, 182, 160. That one's pretty short. 166. Okay. I still consider that a success, by the way. My reasoning is this. I only put that through 3 belts. Okay. So let me show you what it would be like if I did it the way it's probably going to work. Now, I don't know about you, but the whole reason behind this system is that I can put a miner on a belt. Now, I know a lot of people converge their belts, meaning that they'll grab 3 miners and they'll put them all on one belt, and then they'll bring that one belt back to the factory. Cool, no problem, that works. I don't, because later on down the road, okay, even a, let's go with, well, impure is not a good one. An impure will run at 30 on an MK1, okay? It'll run 300 fully overclocked on an MK3. It's 10 times the amount. If we look at a pure, it'll start at 120 per minute. It goes to 480 on an MK3 not overclocked. And if you overclock it just by 50% on an MK3, you've now run to 720, which, that's it. Okay, seriously, that's a top-end MK5 belt. 720, that's all it can handle. That's it. So I myself find that I overclock a couple of my pures because it's worth more. Okay, so here's my thinking. An MK2, because MK3s come out fairly late in the game, not really late, but to me, fairly late. It does take a bit to get there. You're going to get to MK2s and you're going to get to MK5 belts a lot faster than you're going to get to that MK3 mine. It's just me. Okay, I could be off my rocker. Let me know in the comments below that I'm off my rocker. But I found that in all of my playthroughs, I was able to get to MK2s and get overclocking, okay, meaning I got lots of slugs and all the rest of that. So I don't overclock my impures. I don't see a point. An MK2 miner starts at 60, fully overclocked is 150. You're only gaining, well, another 100%, so maybe 150%, maybe? I know it says 250% in the overclock, but look at the numbers. 60 per minute to 150 per minute. So you're doubling it, so that's 100%, right, to 120. And then you're getting an extra 30 to 150. I hope you see my math. Maybe I'll drag some some pictures of the pures and impures. I have a spreadsheet that I do. Okay. So that, to me, the impures are not worth an overclock. The pures, on the other hand, 240 to 600. Okay, 240 and 240 is 480, and you're only adding another 120. So it is the same math. Okay, it is. Like the percentage-wise, it's the same math. But it's well worth it to overclock a pure, and not really worth it to overclock. This is what I mean by your incoming lines. I have never found them to match. I don't know about you guys, but I never found them to match. It was always a mismatched bunch of phooey. It just always was. Okay, so I had to come up with this system. So now, let's do this in a way that it would probably make a little bit more sense. Let's go to number 4 on that one. Let's go to number 3 on that one. Can I get all the way up there? Just by... Nope. Okay, so I am going to need... Let's go to the top. Okay, that'll do. There. And let's go... let's not make it the same math here. Let's go number 8. Okay, so I got 1, 3, and 4, and let's go in the middle. Yeah, sure. Let's go in the middle, right there. Now let's split it up. I got 6 incoming. You know what? Let's get some more. Let's do more. More, I say, because remember we're gonna have different belts, different miners, different stuff, right? Let's put you here. Let's skip 1 belt. Okay, let's do that. Now I got 8. I'm going to have to figure out... well, let's go... half stack, half stack, half stack, half stack. It's not equal, but it is 1,000. Right? Okay. It was, wasn't it? 250. 2,000. Okay, let's go 250 per. Oh, come on. Shoot. That would be the wrong button. Ha! Nabbed you before you got out on me. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Okay. I know, it's the shift click, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, come on. Gotta try and do this quick. Okay. Let's see how 1,000 splits up into 9. So they should be about 100 each. 100 and some. You know, relatively, right? But this will give you a fairly decent representation of 8 belts in, and what happens on the far end and how it splits. I'm going to go with one of them will be short. The rest will be fairly equal. Or we could take one out. I think it was that one, wasn't it? No, let's not take any out. Because then it just belts fill up. So let's not take any out. Let's see how this works. So all I'm trying to show you here is this system will handle pretty much anything in to anything out, meaning any number. You want to go 12 in, 9 out, go right ahead. 6 in, 7 out. I mean, it's a variable system. You can set it up in the blueprints, you know, make one 3 high, make one 4 high, make one 5 high, and all the way up to 9. And then it's X amount of belts in, X amount of belts out. I don't know. It's never going to be perfect. Not this, not the numbering system for this game. Not the way the math works. I don't know whether I misrepresented that this is a perfect balance or it's not. I think in Factorio it works out perfectly because it's on base 2, meaning 2 lines come in, they get split evenly to 2 lines out. So that's a little different than 1 in 3, or 1 in split it 3 times. So, I mean, I have come up with a couple of different concepts over the years to try to, but I found this one to be and as soon as blueprints came out, oh, that changed it, because now I'm not hand building it like I did this system. And yes, I did hand build the whole thing. I've done it so many times. I mean, whatever. They just recently brought in blueprints in the last, was it update 5? Wasn't it? Anyway, this works better at the end of this. I'm going to show you how it works on the coal system that I did for my power plant. Probably this is running too late, way too long of a video. So I'm going to show the power plant on a different video. But real quickly at the end of this one, I'm going to show you how 4 in, totally uneven, to 2 out. But the math works, meaning that the 4 in are a little bit more than the 2 out. And that's where this system kind of shines. Having it evenly split a set number without backing up the belts doesn't quite work. I think you'll understand what I mean. And then in probably episode 9 or 10 coming up, I will eventually be setting up my smelting system for the iron. And when I do that, then I'll show you exactly what I mean, how I set my stuff up and whatnot, and how I handle the different sizes of mines and belts and everything else, all the rest of that. Okay. So, now remember, I never claimed this was going to be perfectly equal. That's not that, no. But blueprintable, repeatable, expandable. That was part of it. Where this system, 238, 238, 238, 209, 232, 219, 219, 210, and 230. So as a working system, you'll notice all MK1s. I've got 2 really good coal mines out that direction. I got 2 pretty lousy coal mines this direction. The top 2 belts are pretty much completely full. The bottom 2 belts have a lot of space. Okay. So not even coming in. Like just not happening. But going out the other end, nice and even. Fully backed up. I'm going to call it backed up. Okay, because my power plant is not pulling as much. I know what my power plant pulls. That's the whole, kind of the whole gist behind why I did it this way. Now this is expandable. I'm going to need better miners, so I'm pulling more. Okay, but like I said, I got 2 really good mines down that way. Yeah. See how this works. This is why this evener system works. That's a little bit of setup, yeah. But once again, blueprint the one set with the inputs, blueprint the one set with the inputs, and then you just hook it up. And that's it. It's not that hard, really. And like I said, once you know what you're pulling in or what you're inputting into the system, you know what you can pull out. 1 or 2 belts. Doesn't matter. These are 2 MK2s coming out, all MK1 coming in, okay, and yet still full. The bottom one is pulling a little more. I'm not absolutely sure why. Okay, because that whole system should be equal. But it might be that I have 1 too many on the bottom one. Maybe. I don't know. I think I got it correct and equal, but I might have put 1 too many on the bottom one. It might also be that they're just filling them up. So, but I just wanted to show you this. Whether it can even it perfectly, it was never a question in my mind. That's not the part. I mean, I tried to show you that it's fairly equal, and it is. It's fairly equal, even across a large area, 9 belts in and 9 out. But where this system, to me, works is right here. If you count your input, count your output, Okay, belts are full. You'll notice the other ones aren't moving, right? Of course, because they're not being drawn on. But that gets backed up, and then these 4 belts only have X amount of ways to go until they're down to 2 belts. So you can do 4 in, 2 out, 5 in, 3 out. You can do whatever you need to do. And that was part of it, is that, like with a factorial thinking, right, you're never going to be 3 in, 3 out, 3 in, 3 out. It's not going to, I mean, you could build your factory that way, and you could work it. Absolutely. You could work it that way. You could work it 1 in, 3 out. You could work it 1 in, 2 out. I mean, you could do all sorts of things. But I find once I build this expands with me. Meaning that power plant later on will have MK3s, meaning that 1 MK3, right, can handle, because it's 15 per, right, times 12 is 180, right, and 1 MK3 can handle all 12 of those. And then I just expand it, and I keep going, or expand sideways, or wherever I got room, probably sideways down here. Or I bring the whole thing back to the main base, which I don't know whether I want to do that. I'm okay with having the power plant elsewhere. I'm going to have the nuclear plant elsewhere. I mean, I can't have that at the main base unless I want to walk around in an envirosuit all the time. So I'm okay with it here. But what that means is that I have another set here. Avoid the rock. Lots of space. 4 coal mines, even impures, could eventually be pumped up to 300 per, which means I could have 4 sets of 12 coal plants, which that's not unheard of for me. And this is just one area. So I mean, there's lots of other areas with lots of coal and there's lots of areas. But I just, like I said, just wanted to show you this, which is why I've been sitting here watching it run for quite a while, so that you can see it. Hey everybody, so this episode is run on way too long, so I'm going to cut it off here. I will show you how I built that power plant in my next episode. But I wanted to show you that. Now, the important part here is I build this system once. I plunk it down with blueprints. I only use 2 belts right now, but when I up the inbound or the incoming amount, then I can add more. Now, eventually, I retool the factory, or I retool the power plant, and only 1 belt takes care of it, like I said. Then I have 4 outlets with which to run 4 sets of power plants, 4 sets of 12, meaning that I try to be as efficient as possible. I know I'm going to have to up the belts, but you always have to up the belts. So I just try to be as efficient as I possibly can. To me, part of that this is a small evener system. There are much larger ones that I build and whatnot. I've already shown you that. So I don't want to rebuild that stuff. Once I build it once, I build it once. I don't want to rebuild it. I just want to do it once. But anyways, I thank you very much. I hope this helped anyone with evener issues that I said I strongly suggest build it in the blueprint factory. It just makes it so much easier. Then it's 1 click and done. Anyway, thank you much. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave me messages. Let me know what you think about this. I hope I explained it. And yeah, come back in an episode or 2 or something when I set up the iron. You'll see what I mean when I set that up. Anyways, have a good night.